Well, it's June. Thank you for clicking on this video. For those you younger viewers, you know, June is a happy probably point for you guys because basically it's yeah, that's right. School is out for the summer for most of you. Rest of you will be leaving school in the next 2-3 weeks to enjoy the summer, get some time off away from the educators or so-called educators. But once again, thank you for tuning in. You know, there's a lot going on. We did take the last 2 weeks off, Memorial Day. Hope you enjoyed some of the content that we put out there. We did move the Fast Five to Mondays now, so you'll be able to see it Monday at noon Eastern here on CutieCast TV on all of our social media platforms. But you know, lately, some of these articles that come out, and you know, especially health articles. We're looking at this original study and stuff like that, and a lot of them are not studies; they're just peer papers that just, you know, people sit there and look at other people's works, and they just slap on what they think is actual science to the nature, not really looking at what the definition on that. And this is the reason why we have this whole confusion about, you know, everything from the environment to education to medical. You know, people continue to, you know, manufacture these studies that are out there that just has no basis behind them. And when you hear them, you're like saying, "Can we have a little bit more into it?" And you know, and they try to blame one direction to that, not the group, but they try to blame one particular thing. They'll say, it's the chocolate milk. It's the music. It's the video games. It's the porn. Because they don't want people to have these freedoms. They don't want to have the arts. They don't want to have the education that people need for their lives, to get through their lives on there, especially for the youth, the math, the reading, the writing. I mean, we got rid of cursive writing. How stupid is that? And now we got another article out that just basically claiming another study that basically the testosterone in young men is declining because of video games and porn.
Oh my God.
Oh! Hey! What the hell? What?
Oh, God, there's just...
Hey!
There's just...
Damn!
I mean, these things just write themselves. I mean, you swear they are using AI for a lot of these articles on there. But before we start with this fantastic article out of the New York Post, and I'm being cynical on that, I just wanted to take this moment to thank all of you for clicking on this video. If you haven't yet, hit that like, share this video with friends, family, enemies, and hopefully today I've earned your subscription. And for those of you already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed, as YouTube tends to remove subscriptions from time to time. And remember, if you wish to help support this channel, there are several links in the description below, including a merch shop with new anime themed shirts and mugs now available. Once again, thank you for your support, and make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you receive all our notifications on CutieCast TV and all of our programming across all of our social media platforms. Thank you once again. Well, from the New York Post, testosterone declining in young men watching porn may be to blame.
What the hell? Oh, damn the devil! Damn the devil to hell!
Testosterone is plummeting among young men, and their X-rated digital sescapades could be the kinky culprit. The hormone that helps maintain and develop sex organs, muscle mass, red blood cells, bone density, and more, but it may be in short supply in some men. According to the Cleveland Clinic, low testosterone is about 2% of the men, with symptoms ranging from depression, loss of body hair, reduction in libido, to erectile dysfunction and low sperm count. Do you think that maybe it's just the depression in general on there? It ain't just, that you're watching porn. That it's just basically, people are depressed out there. According to The Sun, the level of testosterone in young men is declining, and watching porn or gaming excessively could be to blame. A 2017 study found that men who played video games had lower libidos than those who didn't. In fact, the researchers suggested that engaging with video games released dopamine, the same pleasure hormone, during orgasm, which could contribute to the lack of interest in intimacy. I don't think so on there. And the thing about it is, when you look at that 2017 study, it's a peer study. They've grabbed other studies, which basically they've just cherry picked what they wanted to put into their paper. And this is a constant happening that's going on, throughout the medical profession. When someone writes a paper, it should be backed up by somebody that just basically knows what they're doing and looking into and researching it thoroughly, that everything is proper. Playing video games is pleasurable, but it's also stressful, potentially leading to an increase in prolactin hormone and a decrease in testosterone, according to The Sun. Remember, this is according to The Sun, not the New York Post. High prolactin levels in men can cause impotence. Likewise, watching pornography intensity could contribute to lower sex drives as well, although the jury's still out on that theory. You heard that. The jury is still out on that theory. A 2016 study found that chronic internet pornography, and they went with internet. They didn't do nothing about DVDs or magazines or anything like that. They went with internet. Used resulted in erectile dysfunction and delayed finishing. We can't really say that particular word here on YouTube, but you know what word we're talking about. But some experts have found that the X-rated indulgence isn't necessarily lowering testosterone levels. It's curbing desire. Porn addiction can lead to desensitization to sexual stimuli, which can decrease arousal and lead to difficulties achieving and maintaining an erection. Dr. Rob Weiss, a clinical sexologist and psychotherapist, told the Post last month. A few younger men told the Post about their sexual woes, that they couldn't get an erection with a woman after watching years of watching porn. In fact, a 2020 study found a link between watching adult videos and taking longer to climax with a partner. According to The Sun, pornography and video gaming could impair the sleep cycles, which in turn lower testosterone level. Diet can also affect the testosterone level. Really? Think about that for a minute. They just went through a whole article saying, well, video game, but also your diet, what you're eating, namely breads, pastries, dairies, and desserts. A 2018 study found that those foods, in addition to dining out, contribute to lower testosterone levels and an unhealthy body composition. But fret not, carb lovers, there are ways to boost your hormone levels and reap the benefits, such as an increased libido, excellent career performance, and improved cooperative behaviors. Healthline recommends exercising, weightlifting, minimizing stress, increasing vitamin D intake, and getting some shut-eye, avoiding alcohol, and eating a balanced diet of fats, proteins, and carbs. See, the thing is, and some people that mentioned on there, there are a lot of people out, there are a lot of guys out there that are vegans now, that they're eating like these Beyond Meats and stuff like that. But there's no talk about that. There's a lot of guys out there that is smoking cannabis. No talk about that. Could that be the issues? We don't know, because that is not added to the issues at hand. If you notice what these studies are, they don't explain how long have they been doing these studies, what group level it is, what nationalities, what basically job types. There are many different factors that could lead to lower testosterone level. But what they're going to do is they're going to find the biggest boogeyman that they want to politically throw at you and say, well, it's the porn, it's the gaming, it's the anime, it's the food you eat. You know, you got to stop eating the red meat. It's not good for you. You know,
I did a lot of digging and research, and I've kind of found that there's a lot of big names who are kind of high up, or somewhere in the Latter-day Saints Church, the Mormon Church, for those unaware, who are behind these movements like Fight the New Drug and Covenant Eyes, which they don't even try to hide their religious affiliation. But what it looks like to me is that, at least in the beginning, it was church organizations that would put up websites that looked scientifically legitimate. And it looks like there was a lot of bogus research too.
The scholar at University of Nebraska-Lincoln named Kelsey Burke has written about this interesting transition where the church especially was clearly anti-masturbation when they started. That's also true of one of the large anti-porn organizations now. NoFap started as an anti-masturbation organization. But it seemed basically like they couldn't get traction that way. It's just kind of an old-fashioned idea. No one really believes that stuff anymore. As well, they shouldn't. And so they found by putting this in the verbiage of pornography, they could get people on the left and the right who felt there were problems with pornography and kind of unite these groups. So my sense is it's fairly strategic.
But
there's been plenty of studies out there that, they say violence in video games, nothing to do with the video games at all. And they say violence on TV, nothing to do with the violence, on there. The problem is they won't detail the true nature of the situation. We have mental health issues in this country. That is a fact. We have a high suicide rate, and it continues to increase. Don't blame the situations where, that's the music, that's the video games, that's the porn. It's not their fault. It's not you have a situation. This is what happened in the 1990s when a rock band was basically blamed for the suicide death of two youths that basically was sitting around all day, drinking, smoking pot. Nothing was talked about that they had those in their lives. But yet, of course, they were listening to this particular band, and the parents were like, well, they listened to that music, and it made them do it. Nobody made it do it. They did it to themselves. Nobody's taking blame for themselves. Nobody's taking situations where basically they said, well, this level is on there. But yet, what if they're taking drugs? What if they're doing things they're not supposed to be doing in their lives? Could that be the level on there? Could they be working in a factory where there are chemicals that could lower the testosterone level? Or they're surrounded by something that is affecting them. Maybe they're allergic to something. None of this is thrown into these studies. And it's a continuation that's always been going on. Like I said, whether it's the environment, whether it's the food you're eating, whether it's your education, so they always throw some boogeyman in there to blame. If you disagree with them, they'll call you white supremacist. They'll call you a Nazi. They'll call you all these words, these word salads that they throw at you on a constant basis, and not get to the crux of the situation. It's the same thing with the Second Amendment and all that. People like say, we got to get rid of guns because all these people are getting shot. How about let's focus on the real reason? It's not the gun. It's basically mental health. We need to help these people. There is something going on in this world, and basically, Japan is going through it the worst right now. You see that on there, and and I said this before, it's spreading throughout the world. Depression is here. The mental health issues are here. Some of it is attributed to drug use. But the other half of it is that basically something's going on in certain people's lives that basically puts them into drinking, drugs, homelessness, going out, buying a gun, shooting up people that they don't like or don't agree with certain things on there. This is the crux of the situation. But they will not sit there and have the actual discussion. This is why the mainstream media, the politicians are afraid of us here on social media, on YouTube, on Rumble, on all these social media platforms, which especially that we're on as well, that it's taking a toll on them. This is why people are turning away from the mainstream media and turning toward us for information. Because we're going to give you straight out. We're going to give you straight our opinion. You can take that opinion whether you like the opinion or not. And that's why I tell you, comment in the comments below. You know, if you like it, hit that like button. Share the video. This is the important things that need to be put out. You know, I have people who disagree with me. Of course, that's the conversation we should have. Agree and disagree. There are two sides to every discussion. And we need to have this. And that is what's missing right now, currently in this world, especially here in the United States. They're allowing, you know, a lot of these small 1% groups that just basically wants you to say, we are always right, don't believe anybody else. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. Here's another crazy study that's saying, blaming the porn, blaming the video games. Yeah, go right ahead. I would not be surprised if morality and media is behind in some of this. Because I tell you, that is one of their traits, to do stuff like this, to put this out in the mainstream media on there, so they'll be able to push this further in the courts to put more laws into effect. And we're seeing that, and we have an article this week on that, because there's another law that's being pushed out there as well. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, comment, like, hit that notification bell, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So thank you for clicking on this video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.